and I really wanted to learn how to sell.
Well, you get that, with the big company, you get that accountability, right? Right.
Yeah.
Everything's measured, right? You kind of learn, that no one cares about my degree. Within 3 days of being in any big company, no one really cares where you came from anymore. Now you are
Yeah.
one of 50 peers, and we're measuring all of you against each other, and you're either going to perform or you're not. And
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like nobody gives two shits about starting a half marathon,
yeah,
like, oh, who's Kevin McCauley,
that got you in the door, right? That got you in the
exactly,
door. That was it.
exactly. Yeah. And that's the part that I do love about that environment. And it can be a lot of fun. It can be challenging too. There's no doubt. I mean, your first few weeks, you're like, what did I get into?
We have that in common. My first job out of college was at GE, and I once you got into the company, now I got off a leadership program, and now I'm one of 110 sales guys across the country, and um, you know no one cared where I came from, what I did, and I
Yeah.
was cold
Yeah.
calling, right? And no one cared how many cold calls I made, right? I'd talk to my
Yeah.
boss and be like, "You got any sales this week?" And I'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"No."
Exactly.
And I'd be like, "But I called 200 people." And he'd be like, "I don't care
I
how many
don't care.
people you called. Like, you're not paid to
Yeah.
call people. You're called to
Yeah.
sell, get
Yeah.
purchase orders, right?" I feel strongly that anyone out of college, the first thing you should go do is try to cold call. Like
Yeah.
I just think it puts it just forces you to grow up outrageously. It is the most humbling thing to do in business.
It's awesome. Yeah. And that feeling when you get somebody live for the first time, or the person you've been dialing and dialing, like you were saying, you make 200 dials and you don't have any sales, but it's that one time the person if you get is going to be a sale, and they finally pick up, and then your heart drops into your stomach and you're like, oh shit, what do I say?
Yeah, yeah,
And then you sort of, you figure it out, you black out for a second, knock it out. And, when you're young out of college, but it's, you're right. That adrenaline rush is something that is hard for people to understand unless they've sold. And I think that I would agree with you that cold calling or some type of entry level sales is critical, because you can take that anywhere. If you're a finance person, accounting, I mean, you're always selling, right? Every job is a sales job in some way or another. Whether it's internal selling, trying to get the next promotion,
telling
or
your manager, right, to
exactly.
change something within an organization. Persuasion's everywhere around you,
Yeah.
whether you think you're in sales or not. You are, right?
Yeah.
It's the basis
100%.
of careers, really.
Yeah.